Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Edith and I like to read books and yap about them to you guys. And today's video is kind of inspired by the specific reading mood I'm in, but it's also inspired heavily by Kaylee, which I will incur both the video I'm talking about and her channel down below. But she made a video about like spooky girl spring because she was rereading Twilight, which we're not rereading Twilight. But we are in a little bit of a spooky mood, which means we're gonna be reading some horror books. And I have a few physical here. I have the one I'm currently reading, which obviously will be the first one. And then I picked out a few for like the TBR for the spring reading challenge. And honestly, I don't think we're gonna like go through all of my options. Physically, we obviously have all of the Goosebumps books. We have 3 left. We have The Institute by Stephen King, and my 2 classics, which is Frankenstein and Dracula. And then, obviously, the one I'm currently reading, which will be the first book of this video, is The Cotton Candy Massacre Part Treats, which is the 3rd book in this series. I read the first one last summer, I think, like the start of last summer, and then I read the second one last fall, and so far I'm already 17% into this, and we have a little bit less than 4 hours left of this book. So far I'm not quite into it yet. I feel like I'm not like understanding where we are, but I feel like it was the same thing with the second book because it's following the same characters, but it's still almost like a completely different plot, except for the fact that it still revolves around this cotton candy that turns people into killer clowns. So far, a little bit confused, a little bit all over the place, but I'm still very excited about this book and hopefully reading at least one physical book. I want to read at least one of these in this video, and then otherwise we have a bunch of books on Kindle that would fit perfectly into the spring reading challenge. So without further ado, let's get into some spooky reading, while possibly also doing some stuff off my spring bucket list. I'm trying to revive my sourdough so that we possibly could bake a sourdough with some form of like spring tastes, but I'm gonna take that as a sign to get into this video. I just finished dinner, and in case you couldn't tell, I baked carrot cake. I've actually never baked carrot cake before. I didn't used to like the frosting, so therefore I didn't eat banana, whatever, you know what I mean. But I had it not that long ago and loved it, and ever since then I've had the recipe saved. And then today I was having a sweet tooth, but I was also like, I need to do some of my hobby stuff because I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit weird lately and it's been going on for a while, so I'm trying to like get back into it. So let's try this. That's really good. I will put the recipe I used down below, but it is a Danish recipe, so. I also haven't read anything today yet. I am planning on reading a little bit before bed. Not a lot, but a little bit. But I finished season 2 of Buffy in a rewatch, so like I've watched it before. And for anybody who's seen Buffy, Obviously, I'm not gonna spoil it, but like, for you that have seen Buffy, you'll know. I fucking hate that ending. And like, I'm not a big Angel fan. I'm not a big Angel hater, but I'm just like, I like him and Buffy in the first season, if that makes any sense. But I hate Xander and like his decisions in the end of that season. And I hate a scene that I haven't gotten to yet in season 3, but that I know is gonna come up in episode 2. The like, I'll come back thing. Yeah. I hate all of them, honestly, except for Buffy sometimes. So I'm gonna eat this, watch some more Buffy, get ready for bed, read, go to bed. Look at my outfit. I don't have enough time to like update you guys on the reading, but we're having a little bit of a second birthday for me today because my cousin couldn't join us the last time. And now, long story short, it is everybody that was there when I was celebrating my birthday last time. So my cousin, my aunt, and my grandmother, and then of course my mom. We're gonna have a little bit of a picnic with some pizzas for lunch. So this is the fit. it has been a few days, I think. I did try to film an update earlier, but I'm not sure I'm gonna like keep any of it except for maybe showing off my outfit. Maybe I'll just insert the video of that here or something. But I had a little bit of a birthday celebration today with my cousin because she couldn't be there the last time we were celebrating. And then my aunt, her mom, and my grandmother ended up being here as well. So in a way, it was kind of just like a second birthday celebration. Actually, like a fourth birthday celebration for me. Part of being a child of divorce, multiple birthdays, and then because like people who can't show up and stuff like that, even more birthdays. But this one was probably the last one. So first of all, I got some gifts. I got a little matcha set. It's from like German Amazon. I'm not sure what this is for. Like, is it for holding something like that? No. So I'm not sure what it's for, but look at this bowl. It's so cute. And then a little whisk to make the matcha in the bowl. We have the scoop right here to put the matcha in. We have this thing and this spoon, which I'm not sure what this is for, but honestly I'm gonna have to look some of this stuff up. This as well, no idea what that's for. And then a little stand for the whisk, and this is just so cute, and I love the green. Just thought, it's matcha, it needs to be green. And then she also got me Lightning McQueen. So I'm thinking, because my mom isn't gonna be home tonight, so I'm thinking we can have a nice little night in, watch a horror movie, put together this Lego set, get back on track, because the last few days, sure, I have still been reading a horror book, which we will get to that in a second, but I haven't done anything else that like fits into this entire like spooky stuff. To be fair, it has been so freaking hot. It has been over 20 degrees Celsius the past 2 days and sunny. It's been like it's summer. And then last but not least for today, I got this little Cueless game, which is Taylor. If you don't know Taylor, I will possibly link her channel down below too, but she does this. It's like Scrabble, but with little cubes. And like, it's basically to play with play with it by yourself. She does it every single morning, Taylor. She talks about it in her video, and the first minute she talked about it, I was like, I kind of need that, because I feel like I like the idea of having like fun little things to do. I just bought a deck of cards so I could like do solitaire by myself. Now this by myself, these like fun games that doesn't require a screen of any kind. And then to the book stuff. I think we've gotten to the book update. I finished The Cotton Candy Massacre Part Treats yesterday. I read for like an hour and a half outside in the sun. Actually, no, yeah, I finished it outside in the sun. And I think we're landing on a 4-star rating. I gotta like obviously stick to the fact that I had a tough time getting into it. The first 20%, I was like, what is going on? We were meeting like 20 new characters, and I was like, are any of these going to be important? Not that many of them were, and I couldn't tell you the names of most of them, and like that put me a little bit out of it. But as soon as I got into it, as soon as like I just accepted the fact that I didn't need to know everybody's name, I loved it. Yeah, I love a good little slasher. And like a slasher, I think he compares it to like popcorn movies, which if you don't know that, it's like there's not a lot of substance. It's just, it's good and it's easy and it's like, I feel entertained reading it. It's sick, but I feel entertained reading it and I love it. Obviously, trigger warnings for like gore and stuff like that if you are not good with, I mean, I'm a little bit mixed with gore in movies. I love gory movies, but I do like tend to like look away or something. And yet I love it in books because specifically I don't see it in my brain, but like I can still get the gist, if that makes sense. But like, if you're not into gore at all, you don't like even descriptions of gore, do not read these books. There's some disgusting shit going on in these. With that said, I then, as you guys saw, spun a wheel yesterday after I was sick of laying outside, and it landed on the Cotton Candy Massacre, the final chapter. And I'm so scared. I mean, I'm not scared, but like a little bit. It says I have 4 hours left. I've read the first 10% of this. And like, during all those 10%, it has constantly told me that there are about 4 hours left. It has been down under 4 hours and it's been a little bit above it. So it hasn't apparently really found my reading. Like, it hasn't really decided on how quick it thinks I'm gonna read it, but around 4 hours left. So I think I might read a little bit of that right now. And then, like I said, movie night, Lego night, let's find some good horror movie to watch. Good morning. It is Monday morning and I'm so tired, but I have to go back to school today. Yeah, I somehow pushed this almost a week. I was supposed to, like, first what I told my mom was that I was gonna go back right as I came back home from my vacation, which would have been last Wednesday. I didn't go Wednesday, I didn't go Tuesday, no, I didn't go Thursday, and I most certainly didn't go Friday. I just saw that one of my professors actually emailed me last Tuesday, and I haven't seen it until now. I've been doing schoolwork. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like I've just been completely letting it go. I've been trying to like catch up on what they have been doing. It's just been really hard. And in case you guys didn't see my last video, which was a travel vlog, so like, go watch it. It was interesting. I had kind of like a long, almost like a crying talk about the whole traveling with autism thing, and like a little update on that. It follows you after the vacation, in case you were wondering. I definitely think it's like a reason for why I am as exhausted as I am. Anyway, yeah, so 60% through it, and so far enjoying it way more than the second and the third one. Not more than the first one, because like the first one was a 5-star, so would be a little bit hard, but like I'm really enjoying this one. There's like a plot, and like I get the fact that it's been building up, so there has been a plot throughout all of the books, but like I haven't really read the other books for a plot. Maybe like the first one for the plot. The second one was interesting, but again, the plot was just mostly the gore. And right now I feel like there's an actual plot going on outside of the gore, and I'm really, really enjoying that. Okay, let's make this matcha and get on with our day. Alright, it is later the same night. I was like, did I talk to you guys this morning? But I'm pretty sure I talked to you guys this morning. I ended up having a friend over. We ate lunch together. She stayed for most of the afternoon. And then I read. And then obviously like ate dinner, watched Euphoria. I did a little bit of a cleanup, took down a bunch of trash, filled up the dishwasher and made sure it's gonna start tonight and stuff like that. And then I read a little bit more and I just finished this series. I know there's a prequel. I know it's on Kindle Unlimited and it's supposed to be super short. So I will possibly be reading that. Not in this video though, because we are at the end of the video. Yeah. I am gonna give this book a 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. To me, nothing will just ever compare to the first book. And this is gonna be such a weird complaint, but it's only because of the genre. But like, I wish this book had a little bit less plot and a little bit more gore. Because I feel like that was the thing with the first one. You know? I also just think the first one had like the best setting out of all of them and like the best cast. All of that. And also it was kind of my introduction into the idea that I can read slasher books. So like it just has a special place in my heart. But with this one, there was just like a little bit missing. Just like a little bit, because obviously 4.5 stars is still a great rating. But yeah, a little itty bitty thing was missing. And I can't explain it better than the fact that I wanted more gore and less plot. You know? With that said, this is definitely making me wanna watch some 80s like slasher movies, because I feel like I actually haven't seen that many of like the actual slashers. I mean, I've seen like the classics, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. I think I've seen the original of that. Maybe I haven't. I just feel like a lot of those aren't on streaming services anymore. Like the originals, then it's like newer remakes, which I know I've seen the Friday the 13th, but with Jared Padalecki, so like I think it's from like 2013 or something. But like I want to watch the originals. I think the oldest horror movie I've ever seen was like Night of the Living Dead, which I loved, and I need to rewatch that if it is on any streaming services. So if you like movies like that, I will still compare this to Terrifier, even though I know Terrifier isn't like an 80s slasher, but I feel like it has the same like vibe of like pushing the boundaries on gore insanely much. And then of course the entire clown thing. Yeah. If you're squeamish, do not read this series, but if you in any way love like shitty slasher movies, you will love this series. Yeah. I don't think I have anything more to say. This video didn't end up being exactly what I think I had in mind when I started it. I think, well, first of all, we didn't read a single physical book, but don't worry, we are getting back to the physical TBR starting tomorrow for my next video. And also, like, we didn't really, I mean, we watched Scooby-Doo, which isn't like a horror book, but I feel like it fits into the vibe. Actually, I think that is the most like spring thing we've done, because that movie literally takes place during spring, like during spring break. But like it was also still like scary. It's a children's movie, but it scared me when I was a kid, and it's like a nostalgic thing. And I think maybe I just had like a rough time getting back into life after vacation, in case you guys missed. Actually, I think I said all of this morning, so I think that just took up a lot of this video and left me with not enough like energy for anything else than just the reading. So like we didn't get to do some stuff I had planned. I had like a spread in my journal I wanted to make dedicated to like spooky girl, spring, summer, stuff like that. And like I wanted to do some of the spring things. I think my sourdough starter is starting to get better. So that's a plus, which means in a future video I will make a springtime sourdough with you guys. But even though this video wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, we finished one of my like top series. yeah. I need to stop talking. I am all over the place. It's late. I need to play Duolingo and then I need to go to bed. So if you guys made it this far in this video, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your bell notifications so you can get notified every single time I post a new video. And I promise you guys, this is not the last you will see of me reading spooky books. I'll leave it at that. And with that said, I will see you all in the next one. Bye.